Most of the devices that we use every day, from vehicles to smartphones, digital cameras, televisions, washing machines, refrigerators, and LED bulbs, are all powered by semiconductor chips. Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors and over 90% of the most advanced ones. Most are manufactured by a single company, TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation. Taiwan is also known as the semiconductor hub of the world. But how did this small island nation become a global leader of the most important industry in the world? In 1974, Pan Wenyuan, a Chinese expatriate who was then a U.S.-based research director at Radio Corporation of America, RCA, advised Sun Yun-swan, the Minister for Economic Affairs of Taiwan, to develop integrated circuits. The idea was authorized, and Taiwan succeeded in convincing RCA, then the leading electronics manufacturer in the U.S., to consent to the transfer of semiconductor technology in 1976. A first group of engineers was sent to RCA's facilities in April of that year to undergo a year of intensive on-the-job training. In 1985, the government of Taiwan recruited Morris Chang, a Chinese-American engineer, as the president of Industrial Technology Research Institute in Taiwan. Morris Chang founded Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, in 1987. TSMC was formed as a joint venture between the Taiwan government, which wanted to promote the development of the Taiwan's semiconductor industry, and Philips Electronics N.V. of the Netherlands. TSMC focused on developing cutting-edge semiconductor manufacturing process and technology. They invested heavily in research and development, allowing them to stay ahead of competitors in terms of producing smaller, more efficient, and powerful chips. Soon, TSMC became an internationally oriented, profit-driven organization that supported the development of fabless semiconductor companies. Fabless semiconductor companies were strong on design, but they could not afford the large investment required to build their own fabrication facilities. These factories where chips are manufactured are called fab, or fabrication plants. By 1992, TSMC was rated as the world's top silicon foundry, producing chips for other companies. TSMC employed 250 process engineers and was on the cutting edge of process technology. By 1994, demand for chips was exploding with new applications in multimedia and portable computing. At the beginning of the year, TSMC announced plans to build a new 8-inch wafer fabrication facility, or fab, that would double the company's output to more than $1 billion worth of product a year. In September 1994, TSMC went public on Taiwan Stock Exchange. Before the end of the year, TSMC announced an agreement with Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, to provide foundry services for AMD's AM486 processors. For 1994, TSMC reported sales of $744 million and net income of $325 million. TSMC collaborated with major semiconductor companies like Qualcomm, NVIDIA, and Apple. These partnerships helped TSMC secure consistent stream of orders and maintain its technological edge. In 1996, it became the first Taiwanese company to be listed on New York Stock Exchange, which enabled TSMC to add another $500 million to its balance sheet. By 2000s, TSMC had already become a global leader in chip industry. TSMC introduced FinFET, Fin Field Effect Transistor, technology, a 3D transistor design that improved the power efficiency and performance compared to traditional planar transistor. This technology was used in advanced nodes such as 16 nanometer and smaller. The proliferation of smartphones and other mobile devices increased demand for TSMC's advanced manufacturing processes. Many mobile device manufacturers relied on TSMC to produce the chips powering their products. The sector output reached $39 billion in 2009, ranking first in the global market share in IC manufacturing, packaging, and testing, and second in IC design. In 2010, Taiwan had the largest share of 300 nanometer, 90 nanometer, and 60 nanometer manufacturing capacities worldwide and was expected to pass Japan in total IC fab capacity by mid-2011. By 2020, Taiwan was the unmatched leader of global semiconductor industry, with TSMC alone accounting for more than 50% of the global market.